If you do need to speak to me, just unmute yourselves and ask any questions you need to. Can everyone hear me okay? Yeah, all good? All right, first of all, let's just start to move the body around. And see if you can do this mindfully. See if you can notice where it feels a bit tight or a bit stuck, a bit like it needs some extra attention. Just move into those areas. Just notice what you're doing. Try and stay in touch. Try and keep the awareness on what you're actually doing with the body. And perhaps bring a bit of warmth, a bit of energy into the body now. Give it just a bit of a shake around. As we're doing this, staying mindful. Senses inside the body, awareness inside the body. Allowing thoughts to come and go. And you might like to also be concentrating on the way that the feet are grounded. The feet are grounded. The crown of the head grows, rising through the crown of the head. And let's start with a few morning yawns to get us in the mood. So allow that natural yawn. So we're using the breath to open the body. Very little effort. A sense that the breath can do the work for us. A sense that the breath, life energy fills the body. And a sense of it leaving, a sense of us letting go of what we don't need. Good. And also this sense of taking the inside and bringing it to the outside. So welcoming the day, bringing your inside awareness to everything going on outside, connecting inner and outer. Keeping track of where the arms are, what the breath is doing. And this time we're going to come down into a gentle crouch. Bring the fists in. Good. And then breathe in, standing up. Open the body up. Breath moves all the way to the fingertips. Breathe out, come back down into your ball. Breathe in. Breath fills the body, moves the body, breathe out, just relax down into your ball. Perhaps a sense of things settling in the belly. Breathe in. And breathe out. Good. A couple more of these. Take your time, notice what's going on, breathe in, open, breath opens us, breathe out, relax down. And then this time we're going to stand up, breathe in, the hands are going to come up, breathe in all the way to the fingertips, opens right the way to the fingertips, breathe out, bring the arms down by the sides. And you can drop slightly through the knees, bending slightly through the knees. Breathe in, open, a sense of breathing into the whole body. Breathe out, let go of what you don't need. Whole body breath. Breathe in, whole body, resting the awareness, breathe out, resting in the awareness and the breath, allowing everything to come and go. And then we reverse it. So up the sides, breathe in, fill the body and relax. Stay with your breath and movement. Breath filling and moving the body, breathe out, relaxing. So this whole process should feel really nice and easy for you. never pushing it to the maximum, just enjoying what is already there, what is already possible, and seeing what happens. And in a regular standing position, the hands are going to come over the belly. Relax the breath. I like to perhaps feel like it can sink all the way to the belly. And notice the way that when the breath is deep, the belly can gently press against the hands and then release from the hands. Expanding and contracting in the belly. See if you can get a sense of that happening at the front, but possibly also slightly at the sides. Can you also detect any movement at the belly, at the back? Perhaps there's a sense of the back of the belly pressing against the lower back. So expanding and contracting in all directions, slightly bend through the knees, and we're going to encourage more of that sense by bringing the hands out. So a sense of feeling the breath in the belly, breathe out, a sense of the belly contracting again, but it's just coming back in on itself. There's no effort. Breathe in, open up. Breathe out, relax back down again, slightly through the knees. So again, let's see if we can get this pumping feeling of breath to start to fill the body. Pulsing, pumping, filling the body with breath air, breath energy. Filling and then releasing. Allowing any distractions just to arise and pass. A couple more of these. Good. And then we're going to relax the hands down. They're going to form into something like holding onto a ball. We bring the hands up outside the body. And then we bring the hands in towards the body, forming into a prayer-like position. As we're doing that, we're starting to have a feeling, an intention to suck everything inside. Suck the awareness, sensations, perhaps even a sense of the whole world being sucked inside. Breath can be relaxed, natural. Intention to bring everything deeply inside the body. Allow everything else to arise and pass. And then float the hands down. Turn the palms forwards. Gently start to float them up around the level of the shoulders. Slightly bring the hands in first and then push them out. A feeling of extending particularly through the ring fingers. If you like to, you can close the eyes. Breath is relaxed. We're not following the breath particularly. So start to have a feeling of dropping through the soles of the feet, perhaps right into the center of the earth. Growing through the crown of the head, up into the sky. Hands are moving outwards in both directions. A sense of the whole body opening up here. And see if you can have an intention to allow the whole self, awareness and any sense of self, to start to fill outwards, releasing a sense of self into the whole world. Let go of self. Good. You can open the eyes. Let's start to bring the hands down, bring them over the belly once again. Just take a moment now to see how you're feeling. Perhaps a global sense of what's going on in the body and the mind. We'll try and check in with sensations as we go through today's session, just noticing how things are for you. Float the hands down. Step the feet a little wider. Let's just release a little bit of tension. So this is wild horse, starting by bouncing through the knees. Gentle bouncing through the knees. If you want to, that can become a bit more vigorous. And as we become a bit more vigorous, you might find the rest of the body just starts to get involved. So it's all driven through the lower half of the body. The upper half of the body is relaxed and just joins in. You might like to move the head around as well. You can move side to side while you're doing this. Wild horse. Like we're on the back of a wild horse as it's galloping around. We're just going with it. Good. Nice and vigorous. And then stop. See how you feel. Perhaps noticing any sensations of energy running around the body. We're going to do a short release of the body, if I can make room with the dog. So take the weight over to one side. Yeah. That means that the other foot can come off the ground, come onto the toes. I'm going to circle the whole leg outwards, the ankle, the knee. And if you'd like to, you can come off the ground, move all the way into the hip. Good. Pop the foot back down, circle in the opposite direction. Whole leg. If you'd like to, all the way up into the hip using the knee. Good. Take the foot down, shift all of the weight over. You might find it helpful to drop through that foot, grow through the crown of the head, feel into that connection, and then come to the toes. Outwards. Up into the knee, into the hip if you'd like to. Good. Stay mindful of what you're doing. Drop onto the toes and then inwards with the foot. The knee. All the way up into the hip. Good. Bring that foot down. Take the hands to the hips. Feet might like to go a little bit wider. So pelvic clock, 12 o'clock, 6 o'clock. Okay, and then this is going to be your 9 o'clock. And then 3 o'clock. Come back to 12. Circle around the numbers. Take your time. See which numbers you can hit. See if there are any numbers which feel a bit more difficult to reach or a bit tighter. Take your time working through them. Looks good. And then come forward to 12 again and just switch directions. Nice, keeping the movements flowing, which I can see you're doing. Keeping the awareness on what's going on. Allowing any distractions just to pass. Good, standing up. So feet are going to be a regular distance now. Give the arms and hands a bit of a shake out. We'll come back to the hands in a moment. For now, let's bring just the shoulders up. And then take the fingertips to the shoulders. Okay, and then we're going to turn the shoulders backwards, drop down through the knees, standing up. The arms are going to come together. Good. Open up, drop back down again. So add the breath, breathing in, breathing out as you come down. Good. Nice and flowing, not trying to push anything. And then we're just going to reverse it. So take the arms back, up, towards each other, down. Breathe in. Breathe out as you come back down. Taking your time. Nice and easy. Good. Allow the arms to float down, come to a comfortable standing position. So let's just take a moment to release the neck. So we're going to be drawing an infinity sign directly in front of us, as if we've got a pen attached to the nose. So start drawing that figure of 8 on its side. Nice rounded edges. Nice and relaxed, good. And when you're ready to do so, you can reverse the direction. Good. Come back to center. So crane's neck, drop the chin to the last point of the chest. Slide it up the chest, look up, bring the chin forwards, drop the chin back down again. Slide it up, look up, bring the chin forwards, and bring it in. So tuning into that sense of the undulating neck, undulating spine. Good. And when you reach a high point in your chest again, we're just going to reverse that direction. So slide the chin down, bring it forwards, look up, come in. Down, forwards, up, and in. undulate. Good. Neutral position, just give yourselves a bit of a shake out. So QiGong, we're working with what's called 3 treasures, Shen, Jin, and the Dantian. In fact, there's 3 Dantians that we're working with, upper, middle, and lower. So upper Dantian, the Shen, spirit, or I prefer awareness. Middle and partly upper is Yin, heart, mind, and lower is Jing, essence. Okay, and we're just going to do some things to bring those 3 treasures together. So to start with, tapping over the top of the head with the fingers, like rain gently falling on the head. Waking up our Shen, our awareness. All over the top of the head, particularly over the 100 meeting places, point right at the crown of the head. And then you can bring your hands down to the center of the forehead and just rub into that area. Encourage it to relax, perhaps a sense of it releasing, opening. Good. Wash the hands down over the face, over the neck. Wash down the front of the body. So we're just going to spend a moment stroking down that front area, relaxing that central channel. As we're doing that, we're encouraging that sense of the awareness to start to drop, perhaps a sense of emotions, relaxing. And we're coming down into the Jing, into the real Dantian, the lower Dantian. Awareness moving lower and lower. Good. Just come to the hands, center of the palm, just use the other thumb to rub into that area. Release the palm. Lao Gong, the working palace point, right in the center of the palm. Get some warmth in there. And then switch hands. Good. Hands behind the backs. Circling around the edges of the feet. So relaxing the soles. And we're going to come forwards onto the toes and rock back over the middle point of the foot. So we're massaging into the bubbling spring pressure point at the sole of the foot. You can come back slightly onto the heels if you want to. As you tip back, the toes can slightly come up. But the main thing is that we're focusing on releasing the soles of the foot. Okay, comfortable standing position. Let's move the tongue around in the mouth. And when you've got some saliva generated, close the eyes, swallow the saliva, follow the journey as if you're following that saliva all the way down the throat, all the way down into the belly. We'll do that 2 or 3 times. When you've followed the journey, generate some more saliva, moving the tongue around. Swallow. have a sense of following that journey all the way into the belly. And one more time. All the way into the belly. Good, noticing how you're feeling now. So we're going to do a short sequence for the spine. Link the fingers, push the hands forwards. Hands come up above the head. Don't stretch too hard to start with through the hands. Just get comfortable with how you're standing. Perhaps a sense of the armpits starting to be allowed to open, the sides of the body can relax. Slightly come towards a shorter position for the feet. They're less far apart. Yeah. Pushing through the hands. We're going to come up onto tiptoes. Good. Open up, push through the hands as much as it's comfortable to do so, and then just gently drop through the heels, slightly bend the knees, bring the hands in towards the head. So breathe in and open up. Feel the breath moving, opening you. Breathe out, just relax back down again. Breathe in, open. Breathe out, relax. Resting the awareness just on the movement, on the breath. Gentle and flowing. Seeing where the body and the breath wants to take you. And come down. And this time we're going to go to the side. So a side bend. Breathe in, push through the hands. Breathe out, come back to center. Hands come in towards the head, bending slightly through the knees. And push to the other side. Nice and gentle. No need to go to what we feel like might be our maximum potential. Just going gently and seeing what happens. The point isn't the end of the journey, it's the journey itself. Good. Take the hands back above the head. Just gently turning from side to side. Good. Nice relaxed movement. And let's turn the hands, bring them down in front of the body. As they start to come down, we're going to roll through the shoulders, through the spine, all the way down. Bending the knees. Hands come down, they turn over at the bottom, so the palms are facing up, and we just gently swing from side to side. And then pushing through the soles of the feet, knees will slightly come forwards, pelvis starts to slightly comes forward, belly starts to slightly comes forwards. So we're undulating all the way up, chest slightly comes forwards. Pushing the hands back, looking up, and then you can repeat that with the breath. So turn the hands, breathing out as we come down. Turn the hands, push through the feet, breathe in as you come up. Undulating all the way up, slightly behind us, breathe out, come down. Good. One more time. Breathe in, come up. Good. Relax the breathing. Start to bring the hands down. Going to take the hands by the side of the body to start with. I'm just going to give the dog a nudge because the dog is barking in her sleep. Thank you. So, I thought we'd have a go in advance of Monday's class at building in some the kind of like the full version of swimming dragon, really. So, just to start with, start to swing the upper half of the body. In fact, what we'll do to start with, take the feet wider. Let's get used to it by doing this. And let's do a bit of constant bear. Yeah, so turning the body. Pelvis stays roughly where it is, nice and grounded through the feet, growing through the crown of the head, looking forwards, turning, arms just follow. So getting used to how the shoulders turn. Spine is gently twisting. Good. Starting to slow that down, come to a resting point. So that's the upper half of the body moving. What we want to try and get a sense of is also the lower half of the body moving in the opposite direction. So bring the feet slightly closer together. So when the shoulder comes forwards, we're going to try and bring the opposite hip forwards. And to start with, we can do that perhaps by having a sense of walking on the spot. You're going to come up onto the toes, onto the side that the hip comes forwards. So come up onto the toes. It's like walking on the spot, but getting plenty of movement through the pelvis and the shoulders in opposite directions. Okay. So really try and get used to this sense of shoulders come one way, hips come the other way. Okay? Yeah. Aline, your shoulder and your hip are both the same. Your shoulder is coming forward on the same time as the side as the hip. So what we want to try and do is bring opposites together. Yeah. Okay. Everyone getting the hang of this? Tracy, I think your hip is coming, the hip and the shoulder is coming forward at the same time. You okay? Was that sneezing? Yeah. Okay, so opposites, good, good. And then we can start to allow the feet to stay on the floor now. So hip and shoulder come forwards, feet remain on the floor. So shoulder, opposite hip. Yeah? Opposites, good. And then we can come with our dragon's head. Okay, we can push it to one side. That shoulder is going to come forwards. The opposite hip is going to come forwards. Turn it. Good. So the hand is going to go out on the same side that the hip is coming forwards. Swimming the dragon's head. Hopefully that starts to feel a bit more natural as we've started off that way. Perhaps you've got into the hang of that opposite shoulder and hip. And then if you want to, you can turn the head to look over the opposite side from where the hands are going. So now we should be starting to feel like a real maximum amount of fluid movement is taking place in the spine. Lots of spinal movement. Good, and we can take that hands above the head. Staying with those same movements, bring the hands back to center. Check that you've got the opposite shoulder and hip coming forwards. And you can take it a little bit lower. Good. Good, nice. And then start to bring your dragon back into center. I think we'll leave it there for today's swimming dragon. What I'm going to show you on Monday night is how to get really complicated with swimming dragon. But hopefully you've got the basics sorted now. So come back with the head. Yeah. And I thought we'd do one more thing for the spine. We tried this, I think, last week. So step the feet out, good. Nice and wide with the feet. Hands come down to the lower part of the thighs, and we're dropping directly down. So this is a squat directly down. We don't want to be coming forwards or backwards with the pelvis, drop directly downwards. Good. Okay, so the hands are resting there. Get comfortable. Good. Now we're going to start to swim from side to side. So the shoulders are going to go one way. In fact, we're going to start with the head. We're going to have this sense of a flowing spine from side to side. Good. Moving like the river, this is called. Swaying like the river. Good. So shoulders and head, and then the rest of the body follows. Good. Good. Coming back to your comfortable standing position. Bring the hands in front of the belly. Again, notice how you're feeling. Good. So we'll move into the 18 form. Try and stay connected with that sense of pulsing. Open the body with breath. Relax it back down again with breath. Let's just try this for a moment where we just tune back into that sense of the breath opening and then relaxing us. Moving with the breath. Good. Lovely freedom of movement. Bring the hands down. Get comfortable with your position. Bit of space underneath the armpits, knees are relaxed, let go, slight bend in them. Check that the weight really drops through the feet. Crown of the head rises. Belly soft, chest soft. Palms of the hands open, fingers are alive. If you like to, you can just slightly come forwards onto the toes and then back onto the heels, rocking little by little less each time until you come to your most upright position. So first movement of the form is that we're going to just gently float the hands up. When they reach around the level of the shoulders, they open with the hands and then gently floating down. Good. As the arms raise, we're slightly squatting directly downwards. And as we come up, if we come down with the hands, we're standing up. Good. So adding the breath, breathing in, breathing out. Equalizing energy. So just starting to get a feel for the body as one. Good. One more. Stay with the knees slightly bent. Hands are going to come down to face each other. Chest and heart opening. Breathe in, standing up. Bring the hands up into a column. Yeah. Take them up and out. Turn the hands so the palms are facing down. Come back down through the knees. Good. So breathe in, open the body. Breathe out, relax. Good. So gentle movement, perhaps feeling it moving all the way into the chest and the heart. Feeling the body and relaxing the body. One more. Good. Staying with the dropped knees, the hands are going to start to come towards each other. We're crossing over the wrists, they're not touching. We're floating the hands up. We're looking upwards, and then we're parting clouds with the hands. Coming all the way down, seeing if we can remain with our awareness the whole way down. Yeah, good. Remaining with that movement. Good. Breathe in, open up. Gently opening up all the way through the armpits, all the way up, looking up, part the clouds. Breathe out, release what you don't need, but stay connected with the movement. Good. Breathe in, open. Breathe out. Stay connected, let go of what you don't need. Good, one more time. Good, float the arms down. I'm going to step the feet out again. Nice and grounded through the feet. And bring some bend into the knees. The hands come up to the side. And it feels like the hands and the arms are connected like a seesaw. So let's do the top half of the body to start with. Bending through the top half of the body. Yeah. And the hands will move in unison. We want some space underneath the arms. Good. And we can look down at the hand that goes down. Look forwards as you come upright. Look down at your opposite hand. Nice side bend. And then with the lower half of the body, we can bend the knee on the opposite side to the hand going down. Side where the hand goes down, the leg remains straight. Standing up, look forwards. Bend to the other side. Straight leg with the hand that goes down, bent knee, the opposite side. Good. Looking forwards, breathing in. Breathing out, bend. Breathing in, look forwards. Breathing out, and look at the other hand, bend. A couple more times, really gentle, easy movements. Seeing if you can rest the awareness on the breath and all the details of the movement. Good. Standing back upright. Feet come a little bit closer towards each other. Hands come into very gentle fists. And we're going to start to row. As we're doing this, we're going to squat through the feet. Squat through the knees. See if you can remain looking forwards. So come all the way down and then fists come up the sides of the body. Good. We're rowing to get nowhere at all. Rowing in the center of the lake. Good. Very simple. So breathe in, fists come up. Breathe out, row forwards, drop through the knees. Try not to unbalance. Looking forwards. Good. Breathe in. Good. Flowing movements. resting the awareness on the breath and the movement. One more. Good. Standing up. Hands come into a ball as if we're holding on to a ball. Have a sense of the hands being connected throughout the whole of the movement. So rolling the ball over the shoulder. So one hand's going to come forwards, the other one's going to come backwards. Going to roll that hand over the shoulder, and then they're going to come back towards each other. So from the front, hand comes forward, hand goes backwards. Always moving with the hands. Good. So the body's going to turn, but we're going to still look forwards. Good. So we can breathe in as we open. Good. Breathe out, hands come back towards each other. Can you retain a sense of the hands still being connected? Turning, opening up through the chest, the heart, the shoulders. Lovely. Let's do one more on each side. And we're going to be lifting the ball. Bring the hands down in front of the belly. One hand is going to be feeling like it's holding onto a ball at the front, not touching the belly. The other hand comes behind the lower back. Again, it's not touching the lower back. The feet can be wider. We take that front hand to the side. At this point, we can come up onto the opposite toes. Good, so a lovely stretch there, but we don't want to overbalance. Just check that you're still nice and firm and grounded. Swing that arm around, drop the weight, go to the other side. Good. Take that ball out the other side. Good. So drop, sweep that arm forwards. The other hand is going to come round at the same time. Good. And we're going to the other side without losing our balance. So breathe out. And breathe in as you come to the side. Good. If you've got the hang of the movement, you can follow the hand that's coming out. You can follow that one coming around, and when it starts to disappear, you look for the other hand. Good. Let's do one more on each side. And then this time the hands are going to come down in front of the body as if we're holding on to the moon. We're dropping the weight, and then we're coming to the other side. We're going to place the moon in that top corner. We can come up onto the opposite toes. Lovely stretch and turn through the whole of the body. Take the moon, breathe out, gently swing it down. Don't lose where the moon is. And then come to the other side. Breathe in. Breathe out, bring the moon down. Good. Opening, relaxing. Lovely fluid motion. Breathe in, breathe out, swing that heavy moon. Stay connected with the breath, the movement, the sensations. Let's do one more on each side. Good. Looking at your moon if you can. And then this time, bring a hand round in front of the belly. Step the feet out wider. That top hand forms into like a half prayer position. And we're going to turn from the top half of the body, try and keep the pelvis where it is. It's going to help you to feel like you're rooted through the soles of the feet. Allow the weight to drop. Come back to center. We push through that upper hand. We turn. We look to the side. Bring the hand back above the other hand. Turn your hands around in an imaginary ball. Push to the other side. Make sure that you're staying nice and grounded. We don't want to be feeling, once again, we don't want to be feeling like we're pushing over to one side and losing balance. So push with the hand, breathing out. Breathe in, come back, turn, breathe out, push the other side. And we want to have a sense also that the breath pushing is coming from the belly. Push the hand, comes from the belly. Turn, push the hands, comes from the belly. And if you want to add one more little detail, when we push with the top hand, the lower hand can slightly come inwards. Don't move it too far. So turn, push. So we're unbalancing someone. We're pushing them away and pulling them towards us. Good. Let's do one more on each side. The hands can come one on top of the other. Space between the two. That space between the two is where you're holding your cloud. So turn the cloud from side to side. Move it from side to side. Turn the hands around it. Gently bring it back. You can allow whatever you like to have happen with the breath. Just allow it to be comfortable and flowing. We're not linking the movement to the breath. Really gentle flowing movement. Can you allow all the thoughts to arise and pass? Can you stay connected with breath and movement? Moving clouds. Good, come back to center. So rearrange your feet. One foot's going to step forwards. The other foot is pointing out slightly. Check that you're nice and stable. You've got some distance. Hands are going to come out. We're going to swish the hands forward. The weight is right over that front knee. Bring the hands back. Open, look up at the sky, drop through the back knee. Breathe out as you come forwards. Good. Breathe in, open up, look up. Touch sea. Look at sky. Good. And on this time, leave the hands up and out, step the foot in, and we go to the other side. Weight comes forwards, weight comes backwards, bend the back knee, look up, breathe out. Good. Swish through the sea, breathe in, look up. Flowing movement. Good. Keeping the awareness connected with what you're doing. Bring the hands up. Step in. Don't step so far this time. The arms are going to come like into a wing or an empty hug. The fingers don't touch. We're up onto the back toes. Bring the weight back. Open up the arms. Keep the hands in vision. And we're coming up onto the heel now. Breathe out. Come forwards. Breathe in. Open. Dove opens wings. Good. That sense of open, perhaps sense of nothingness on the inside of the arms and the hands. Good. So bring the hands back in, feet step towards each other, step that foot out and come into the opposite side. And where the fingers don't touch, breathe out as you come forwards, the weight shifts, breathe in, good. And if possible, we're looking forwards at the hands. I'm always trying to look at what you guys are doing, but try and look at what the hands are doing. Come inwards with the hands, step in. And our last movement in this sequence, step that foot back out again. Hands come to around the level of the upper part of the chest. We're going to push the hands down, following the line of the body, not touching the body. Push outwards. The body's going to remain quite stable. We're not going to try and bring the hips too far forwards. And then bring the hands back up the body. So a wave. Push that wave. Push it out and bring it back in. Breathe in, breathe out. Good. One more. Look at the hands if you can. Bring them back up. Step in. Come to your last side. Push the wave. That weight shifting. Good. Bring it back in. Step the heels together, the toes are pointing outwards. Wild goose. Fingers all come together. When they're up above, they're all pointing to each other. And then we bring the hands down, drop through the knees, and the fingertips are now open, and then the fingers point at each other. So come up, breathe in, come down, slightly bend through the knees, fingers point towards each other. Good. Nice and free. Once again, feeling that sense of the breath, opening the body and then relaxing the body. One more. Stepping the feet out. Slightly bending through the knees, pelvis is relaxed. Thumb comes into the center of the hands, wrap the fingers around, bring the fists in, and we're going to stand up at this point. So ha breath as we're breathing out. Breathe out, ha, turn the fist. Don't lose track of where it is. Open the fist, have a sense of bringing things back in towards the belly, standing up. So breathing out, ha. Bring it back in, breathe in. Back into the belly. Good. And the last piece of the puzzle with this is that we're staring with angry eyes. Mitigating anger, using it. Good. One more. Don't lose track of the movement. One more on each side, that is. Good. This time bring the hands up. Good. Breathe out, settle. Press the hands down. Allow things to settle. Step the feet slightly close together. Hands are going to come down as if we're holding onto the edge of our net. Bring your net up above you. So throwing our net to catch the fish. Start to turn that net above the top of the head. You can go small to start with. Nice and easy. And then we're going to wind up the movement. Wind it up. And we're going to throw it out into that corner using the fingers to flick it out. So throw out with your net. Good. And then we're grabbing hold of our net again, and we're going to move in the opposite direction. So wind it up. Small circles perhaps to start with. Start to wind it a bit more vigorously. Good. When you're ready, throw it out to the side. Good. Float the hands down. Comfortable position for the feet. Check that the weight is really dropping. Bring the knee up and the hand up. Float them back down again. Float up. Good. Allow them to float down again. So notice the effect. Perhaps this feels light and this feels heavy. Perhaps this is a sense of gravity. Bouncing ball. Going at your own pace. If you want to, you can link it to the breath. You don't need to, but you could breathe in as it comes up. Breathe out as it drops down. Good. Couple more. Nice. Comfortable standing position. Not linking this to the breath. Turning the hands out. So a sense of gathering up peaceful energy, whatever that means for you. Using the palms, the inside of the arms, gathering up a sense of peacefulness all the way above the head. You might find it easiest to close the eyes at this point. Have a sense of drawing that peacefulness slowly down through the body and follow its movement with the awareness. So follow through the head, peaceful energy, down through the neck, torso. Follow it through the belly, pelvis, thighs, knees, down through the lower parts of the legs, all the way down through the ankles, through the feet into the ground. Standing and noticing how you're feeling now. Let's move the body around a little bit, mindfully. Whatever feels good for you. Dominant hand into a fist. The other hand just wraps gently over the top, and our 3 bows to finish our practice. So first of all, bowing to each other, thanking each other for sharing this practice today. And our second bow is a bow of thanks to all of our teachers, past, present, and future, for the knowledge that they share. And our third bow is to ourselves. And when we bow to ourselves, we're bowing to all of our ancestors, following that line all the way back to a source of oneness. Thank you very much, everyone.